Hello everyone, welcome back to the CableCast. My name, of course, is Caleb Ryor, also known as Cable VGC, and this week is the first episode in a while. I know, we're kind of like monthly kind of deal going on, but this is also the first time we're having a returning guest in that of the always fabulous Blake Hopper.
Hello.
Say hi, Blake.
Hi, everybody. It's me.
This time, joined by another fellow Texan Boiler member and much more successful podcast co-host than myself and one of our previous guests. That's Jake Muller from the Soundproof Podcast. Jake, how you doing?
Stream Soundproof. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah. You guys are doing a much more consistent schedule than I would ever.
We try. We've missed a couple weeks here and there, but
I applaud the effort. We need more content out there, regardless. So a lot's been happening this past month. A lot of the reason why I backlogged on being able to do content is we actually have real life VGC events to be going to. Yeah, fun stuff. Locals. Of course, we have two big regionals that we're gonna kind of dive into and talk about the top cup teams and kind of meta trends, of course. But first off, I want to start on this big kind of news thing, because this is how CableCast started. We were talking with just Sword and Shield announcements and speculations and stuff. And of course, what I'm alluding to is talking about the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion passes. Jake, Blake, do you have any big resounding thoughts on the passes just as a concept as a whole? Or
I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I really like it.
Go ahead, Blake.
Oh, okay, yeah. I really like the idea of adding DLC. I know a lot of people are already going to be mad just because they were already mad whenever the game first came out because there wasn't the full decks. But now they're releasing the expansion packs with more of the Pokemon, so they're like, okay, well, why didn't you just put them out in the first place? But right. I just like the idea that it's kind of like a slow trickle with Pokemon, and we get more actual content in game, which I'm mostly a fan of.
I like this way better than the whole new game model. I think especially coming off of Ultra Sun and Moon, which really just felt like very, very slight adjustments to the original Sun and Moon.
Yeah, especially with how the Rainbow Rocket stuff which just felt tagged on.
Yeah, it was just like an afterthought. Yeah. But this, it's meant to be an extension of the first game, so it's not like you have to go back through and do all the 8 gyms again and do the exact same story they did in the first games. This is all happening given the things that already happened, so I think it's a good way to give us more content without having to run us through the same exact stuff.
Right. So I said before the cast with Jacob Blake, I couldn't find the specific Pokemon that were featured, but I did find the page that had the Pokemon that are coming. Big looks on. I know a lot of people were excited for Garchomp and Volcarona. I think we had some Kingdra fans out there, looking forward for that Pokemon. But a lot more competitive stuff that might spice up the metagame in the future. Do you guys have any worries about Pokemon that aren't in this dex that could kind of shake things up in the next format or so?
I don't really know if any one Pokemon that's missing right now would just break the whole game.
Right.
Maybe if introduce some things and not all of them, then some things start out of hand. But if everything comes back, we already know how everything interacts with each other, so it's not one thing is going to be busted. If they're going to give us Volcarona and then 0 water types, then okay, maybe that's kind of a problem. But it's hard to know, because even I think I'm looking at the same page you are that has Kingdra, Volcarona, Magnezone, Chansey all in the okay, yeah. So it's those are obviously not going to be it. We don't know what's all coming, and so it's gonna I think we just need to wait and see.
I even did a poll on Twitter that was weirdly split 50-50 on whether people think next year. I had an idea that we're going to have kind of staggered format releases similar to that coincide with the expansion pass releases, similar to Sun and Moon series and Ultra series, mostly because the first expansion pass comes out in June, and then the second one, it just says fall, but that's probably November-ish release. I was thinking maybe post-Worlds, fall metagame, we could get no post-Worlds VGC 20, and we get what's the first expansion? The Isle of Armor.
Kind of 20.5 or something.
Yeah, and then
I think
after
you're crazy
that, we could do Crown of Tundra, And then I'm sure, like, I don't know how people feel on this, but I'm sure these aren't the only expansion passes we're gonna get, or like kind of updates for new Pokemon. Even if it's not a more expansion passes, I'm sure they're trying to trickle in to a point in which we're getting all the new Pokemon.
Yeah, I could.
Or all just the entire decks.
Yeah, I could definitely see them just patching and expanding until they actually get the full national decks, like everyone was begging them to do. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I don't know. I don't really expect like a rotating format thing again. 2019 feels more like an anomaly than anything else because, like, in theory, if the 2019 model was going to stick around, they would have done it again this year, which would have meant that like a Post Worlds would have had a different format, and then we would have had the new games like start in, I don't know, when did Moon start last year? Like January 1st?
That? Yeah, it did. I think so.
Like,
what do I think? What?
That it would have started after Worlds. Like, what's your reasoning?
Because that's what 2019 did.
I guess. I think, yeah, us not having a post-Worlds 18 meta... That
was a tragedy.
Yes, I agree. That was a tragedy. I was fully ready to make a comeback into that because I thought that would have been a really interesting meta to kind of explore after Worlds, but we were not granted with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that we'll kind of stick to the same calendar year format schedule again. I would prefer if they did like season formats, but with like their general release schedule for the games, that's just not really feasible. Unless we do something like Sun, Moon, Ultra again, which I don't know if I liked that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that too. The only reason I think it makes sense for us is just because of when these expansion passes are releasing. Like, we don't have a lot of events over the summer. Like, June is usually when our kind of season ends before, especially since Nats is in June now, right?
Yeah.
Or it has been. So July, August, we just have no events. And August, at the end of August, Worlds. So I think like that's when we'll be exploring the first expansion pass, and come after Worlds, I think they'll allow that stuff in until I'd say maybe January when the next expansion pass will kind of have stuff. So that's why I thought it would work out.
Yeah, I mean, I follow the reasoning. I just disagree.
Fair enough. I definitely want to know if we're going to be able to use that new legendary Pokemon Kubfu, because I think something in the trailer alluded to potentially using it in competitive battles. I've been wanting another water fighting type for so long. Like, such a good type.
All that I care about is that we get to use Landorus Therian form once again. He will rise from the ashes,
inject it directly into my face,
invalidate another half of a metagame. I can't wait. It's going to be phenomenal.
Very exciting. Yeah, Airstream.
yeah. He's
all those.
Imagine
Assault Vest with Max Quake. Yeah. Cannot wait. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. So, well, fortunately, if we do have that model, that won't be a thing until the Crown Tundra.
Oh, is that whenever the legendaries are coming out?
Fall?
Yeah, it's the second one.
Okay, cool.
So, in my perfect world, we'll be free from that for a little bit. Although actually, in both of Jake and I's like models, that's guaranteed to come to us in January. So,
well, I can't wait for January.
A year from now, Landorus will probably
rise again.
Yeah,
Bless.
I can't imagine him not. Well, interestingly, we didn't see in the trailer the Ultra Beasts, so that could be like a future expansion. Maybe
that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, oh my god. I remember early meta when we were working with Moxie Gyarados was a huge thing, because that was a huge thing in singles. Just getting boost off of your max moves, it's scary.
Oh yeah, like, the Ultra Beast will just do that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Kartana will just boost.
I wonder if they'll like make Legends not be able to Dynamax.
I mean, in the code of the game, you can already do that. Like the legendaries that like
not box arts
in the decks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think they still Dynamax some box arts. I think like specifically Station and Samantha just can't.
Oh.
an Eternatus. There's like a flag or something in the game that prevents them from doing so. But yeah, that could be scary for a future VGC 2022 metagame with Geomancy, Dynamax, Xerneas.
No. Ew.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants that. Are there any... I guess I didn't talk about the Gigantamax forms. Having more Gigantamax forms in the future is also...
Yeah, that's something
Can
to
we talk about how you pronounce
to.
the word Gigantamax?
Mm-hmm.
Gigantamax?
Gigamax?
How do you pronounce that? I don't know. I've been saying
It's
Gigantamax.
gigantic.
I've been
Like
saying
gigantic.
yeah, I know that, but
Caleb.
Gigantic? Fine, Gigantamax. I'll say both interchangeably. I can't control it.
No.
Whatever. So the starters. So it says, what is it? Discovery of the Gigantamax forms for Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon.
Yeah.
I'm curious if that means you'll be given a new starter, or if it will like change your original starter to be able to do this.
I feel like
That's a
it'll
good
be
point.
kind of like what they did with Leon's Charmander. It might just
Yeah.
be like an event where they give them to you. Or something
Right,
like
so
that.
you train. I think it's going to be weird because you train throughout this entire game with your given starter, and you get to this dojo, and it's like, yeah, that one's shit. Here's a better one.
Oh. Naughty word.
Yeah.
Do we have guesses as to what their Gmax effects will be?
There's some like
I have a couple
flavor
theories.
text.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like Inteleon says it can snipe berries over 9 miles away.
Yeah.
So people think it might like be a berry removal. And then Cinderace says it can overpower other Dynamax Pokemon or something. So maybe it's like double power against Dynamax,
That would be
like,
way too good.
That'd be ridiculous.
like the Behemoth Blade and whatever. It's
Yeah,
shield
no
dash.
thanks.
Yeah.
I would not give a max move that ability.
And
I
then
was
what-
thinking,
what's Rillabooms?
I forget, I can't find the flavor text for it, but I was thinking it could maybe be, something like Snipe Shot, where like it finds its target, like the Stalwart ability, and then who knows what Rillabooms could be. It's playing the
It
drums.
says it said that those who hear the beat will begin to dance uncontrollably.
It says there's just going to be like a new status condition in the game, just
Just dance.
dancing.
well, there's Teeter Dance, which causes confusion, but we
Yeah.
already have.
We have Smite. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Who knows?
Could be Smite. But we already have other moves that... And in fact, we have two Gigantamax moves that cause confusion in that...
What's the other one?
Meowth.
Oh.
Meowth and Hatterene, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a cool look. And also, we don't know what Venusaur and Blastoise are going to be like, but it's nice that...
Isn't it safe to assume they're going to be the other pledge effects?
Other pledge effects?
Like Charizard is Sea of Fire.
I didn't think about
Oh,
that.
That's what I would
It's
assume.
a heightened...
Like Swamp and Rainbow.
could see that.
Oh my good. Well, no, I would not want that because Blastoises I think would be way too good, combined with certain Pokemon next to it.
Is
Well,
that
I mean,
the
it would be
Rainbow
like
one?
niche, yeah. The secondary effects boosts,
Yeah.
but I don't see that being very. Yeah. On the flip side, it doesn't change effects from max moves because they don't have status effects. So
Right.
we'll see. But if Venusaur had the Swamp, that'd be a threat.
That's my guess at least.
It's a solid, educated guess. I think we've been talking about this expansion pack enough. I know the other news is that I did want to talk about, I forgot about this, was Pokemon Home is coming out sometime next month.
Yeah.
I'm sure the next
Next week.
CableCast episode will be talking about that. Yeah, they're just going to drop it next week, Blake.
I hope
Out
so.
of the blue.
Well, I guess it
February
would have to
1st
be.
at 12:01 a.m.
I guess it'd have to be in 2 weeks, but still, you get my point. It's almost
Yeah.
February,
It's almost February.
Yeah.
Time has flown by.
right?
So there are some things we are getting. Well, yeah, there's no way we can't get them from Pokemon Home. There's certain hidden abilities that we don't have yet.
Oh yeah.
I'll look them up.
Clefairy?
Unreleased hidden abilities. Clefairy, I made a tweet earlier today. We're recording this on January 25th about Clefairy and Clefable having a chokehold on the meta next month. Obviously that was exaggerated, but I do think they're going to be super good.
Yeah, I definitely think that it would help the Togekiss plague, because maybe some people could opt into using Clefairy instead of Togekiss. Or honestly, they'll probably use both.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, just because
that's even worse.
Exactly. But yeah, I think
Friend Guard, Helping Hands, the Scope Lens, Dynamax Togekiss.
Literally stop. Literally stop right now.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. But I think Clefable is like gonna be a bit underrated just with Unaware. A lot of team compositions like to boost their max moves. Or have their boosted Pokemon using the max moves and being able to redirect that, like, straight up. I was going to talk about it one way or another, but I'm dropping Beat Up Arcanine. I've been known as that guy, but
gasp.
Straight up, Clefable invalidates that as, like, a thing to exist.
You hate to see it, really.
Because not only does it redirect the Beat Up, but it also just ignores my damn boosts and redirects the Max Flare. It's like, why do I even try? You know? But because of that, I'll be using that instead. I think it'll be really interesting. I don't want to talk about my team more, but I like boosted max moves and think they're really centralizing in the meta. But Clefable will be a good tool against that. The other abilities, I'm looking at a list of unreleased hidden abilities. None of the, like, Pokemon Home's just letting us transfer old Pokemon from other games that still exist in Pokemon Sword and Shield over. So that's how we're going to breed upon those new hidden abilities. We're not going to get the hidden abilities for, like, the newer Pokemon, like starters. We're not going to get Libero, Scorbunny, or Grassy Surge Grookey unless they give us, like, what event or what occurred for us to get hidden ability
Incineroar
in starters.
I think they literally just had them as a mystery gift, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You got them from, like, Pokebank or something.
Yeah, it was something to do with Pokebank, but Pokebank had it existed because that wasn't the first, like, 3DS game. So
yeah, I don't know.
Like, I could see them releasing it as, like, an incentive / gift for the release of Pokemon Home. Like, that could be a thing. We could get Grassy Surge Grookey and Libero Scorbunny out of that. You know, because I don't think we care at all about Sniper on Inteleon. I kept getting Sniper and Super Luck mixed up, but Sniper's okay.
It's an ability.
It exists. The only other relevant, like, we get minus Manectric, if you like that.
That is not
Musharna.
An ability. That's an ability.
That's an ability, but, like, yeah. Musharna's basically beaten out by others.
Yeah, true.
Soundproof Abomasnow didn't exist, apparently. I didn't know that. Shoutouts to, Soundproof. But the only other, like, relevant one, I'm not going to mention all of these, is Prankster Meowstic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of nice.
Because you know how much everyone loves their Prankster Pokemon.
That wasn't available before this?
It wasn't.
Really?
I was surprised, too. But, like, if you think about it, like, Sableye, like, doing super well at tournaments. Grimmsnarl and Whimsicott are, like, in my opinion, both top 10 Pokemon in the game.
I was kind of curious as to why Meowstic wasn't doing anything, because it is a prankster. I mean, prankster is really good this format.
Right.
So yeah.
But yeah, it was because it was straight up
not available. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
What
that'll
I'm
be
curious
fun.
about, just while we're in the cast, I'm going to look this up. I don't know what it does that Grimmsnarl just doesn't do better, you know? Like,
does Grimmsnarl get
Grimmsnarl has actual physical, like, capabilities.
Does it have Safeguard?
Oh, it has Safe Swag, yeah. I use that.
Grimmsnarl has Safeguard?
No, Grimmsnarl doesn't have Safeguard. It gets Thunder
That's what
Wave.
I was asking.
right. Sorry, I was thinking ahead. Meowstic has Safeguard and Thunder Wave. Meanwhile, Whimsicott gets Safeguard but not Thunder Wave. And Grimmsnarl gets Thunder Wave and not Safeguard.
Whimsicott gets Stun Spore.
I guess if you're into that, yeah. Paralyze those pesky Excadrill.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. We could find some use for Meowstic with Safe Swag. I remember running that in 2014 and everyone hating me, but most Meowstic players don't see much respect anyways, you know. It's a hard life to live, but it does its work. Prankster's good. All right, this is probably the best, I guess, segue we're going to get into talking about top cut teams and just talking about the meta VGC 2020. Before we get into that, I just want I alluded to my team earlier, but most people know what I've been running, but I wanted to ask you guys, my guests, what have you guys been enjoying running these last 2 months of VGC? What stood out to you as having a good time playing this game?
The mobile app Pokemon Go has been my favorite team archetype. No,
I meant other than that. Yeah,
seriously though, I
Pokemon Go player.
Other than what I brought to regionals, I like the top 10 Pokemon in the usage stats, like all of them.
All of them.
That is just
what's VGC stats got him right now? So you like Togekiss, Dragapult, Arcanine, Whimsicott, Duraludon, Excadrill, Rhyperior, Gyarados, Gastrodon, and Tyranitar. All 10 of those?
Yes, I love them. They're all fantastic. I actually don't use a lot of Gyarados, but I do think it's very good. Duraludon was up there, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, that thing is phenomenal, too.
Such a good Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of am not taking this year too seriously, so I don't have, the best... Honestly, I'm not the best resource as for, meta trends and, meta calls and stuff like that right now, but...
I was just asking what you enjoyed playing.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Togekiss is my favorite, though.
Oh, yeah.
Togekiss
definitely
is stupid.
The star of the past, 3 weeks. All right. Well, so another great mind in that aspect. We have a Pokemon Go player's perspective. Now we got to ask the commentator extraordinaire, the weatherman, Jake Muller. What have you been enjoying playing?
I've done much more watching than playing in this format so far. But of things that I've seen in the last couple weeks or so, this is really annoying that it's so good, but I really super
Beat up Arcanine?
No.
Yeah.
No. Get out. No. I really super Scopeland's Togekiss.
It's so good.
It's ridiculously stupid, but it's also just good.
It's wild.
Especially as a Dynamax mon, if that's what you're going for.
If you had told me 3 months ago that, yeah, guys, Togekiss, we don't run Serene Grace anymore. It's a bad ability.
Imagine Dynamaxing your Togekiss twice in a set and on average critting 3 of your max moves. That's insane.
I think I played a best of 3 against Zach Carlson round 1 of Dallas Regionals, and he had the Kotesh, Goth, Dusclops Togekiss team. We'll talk about that in a bit. He hit, I think, 15 out of 16 crits.
Oh!
Okay, well that's excessive.
So, yeah.
That's
I mean, obviously at that
that's
point,
way higher than you would expect.
To the point where, yes, his moves are critting. That's just the damage that's happening.
You did leave it on the field for 16 turns, to be fair. There's a lot of turns.
Actually.
And even
that might be too high, but that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're not maxing it, you're just clicking Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah.
You have a 25% chance, you have a 75% chance to get at least 1 crit if you click Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah.
Okay, thinking back, it might have been 9 out of 10. I think I was thinking of all the super luck Togekiss I played that day.
Which it's even better if you're facing, I guess you're never going to face max bugs, so you don't really have to ignore those drops. But Snarl's a thing. Special defense boosting is a thing with max Quake. That's one of the best ones.
Yeah, light screen.
So just ignoring that stuff is really cool.
Grimmsnarl.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I did not expect... I thought Togekiss would be top 10, but I did not anticipate Togekiss being number 1. Yeah. Let's ease into these regionals teams now, because there's no stats on them. Oh, there's usage. Never mind, I lied. Hold up.
Really? There's usage?
On Bochum. Boham.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
If you scroll all the way down. Dallas doesn't have them. We're using Nimbasa City Post. Shout out to Sam Temple. Thanks for the website. But yeah, we got I think it's even higher at Dallas, but 52.34% of the Bohum regional teams in top 128. I'm sure if you like do just a higher percentage of teams or like higher CP marker, you get higher percentage of Togekiss usage, but that's pretty damn high.
Oh wow, these usage stats are very revealing.
Yeah.
Revealing. The most used Rotom at this tournament was Rotom Cut.
Yeah, by far.
Is huge to me. Actually, I want your guys' opinions on this. Where do you rank the Rotoms as like the three we care about? Like, what's your power ranking of the Rotoms right now?
Ooh.
I think Cut is best just because grass types are hard to find, whereas water types and fire types are a little easier to come by.
But I also say that about fire type, I must admit. But you're right in this meta.
Well, Arcanine exists and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, Arcanine, Torkoal, Zard, yeah.
Yeah, whereas like Whimsicott is not a grass type. So like Cut is just there because of utility and lack of accessibility, whereas I think Heat and Rotom Wash are both like equally as good, but worse than Rotom Cut.
Cut is also a grass type that doesn't, it's an electric type that doesn't get murked by Excadrill.
Yes,
and it's a grass type that doesn't lose to Braviary too. Nice. So like you have some of the like downsides, like you're an electric type that is neutral to Braviary, but you're also a grass type that is like good against Braviary. So like I think there's trade-offs there, and like I don't know, I really like Rotom Cut a lot. It was the first one that I think I started messing with in this format.
Yeah.
Like Leaf Storm is just a powerful move. It's really good against something like Rhyperior too. It's more reliable than Wash against Rhyperior just because you don't like you have a lesser chance of missing. Yeah.
It also does more damage than Ferrothorn, which satisfies those addictive rolls that you were talking about.
That's true.
Yeah.
Solid points there. Jake did talk about a Pokemon that I wanted to mention. Big dip from our December meta, Braviary. What happened to Braviary?
People realized they were overhyping it. Like it's Defiant is good. Like having access to Tailwind is good, but its stats like still disappointed.
It's so frail.
It doesn't have the greatest stats. Yeah, it's really frail. Like even with close combat, like that's a pretty big buff. And I think people were like freaking out about the combination of Airstream and Knuckle because in theory, at the very beginning, that was good. But then I think people realized that Knuckle is like not a great max move. Like
I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's the best. I think it's still pretty good. It's
like the power nerf really like puts it in
better.
its place.
Stab Knuckle is better.
Yeah, and I think it's better if you're using it to boost your partner too. But like if you're a Braviary and you click Max Knuckle, you're doing like 40% to something probably. Like it's not going to do a whole lot of damage because it's not stab and it's like 90, 95 power or something like that. So like you have to dedicate another turn to it, and if you get like burned, if you get your speed dropped, if you're just not attacking first the next turn, it's not really worth it. So like I don't know, Airstream is way better than Knuckle and Braviary, and I think if people aren't going to be using it for like Airstream plus Knuckle stuff, there's better options.
That's true. Yeah, I think the scariest Braviary set in my mind is actually a Scarf Braviary. I've seen teams like they opt into just Scarf Tailwinding turn one, and then they can Dynamax if they want to stay in, or they just switch.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Oh, that's kind of nice, honestly. I kind of like that.
I lost to a team. It was running it with like Dragozolt. And it was like mad scary because it.
It goes so fast.
I couldn't KO it with my like Arcanine before it set up the Tailwind. So, woe is me there. What was I thinking? So I guess as far as like Airstream Pokemon go, Togekiss usage being where it's at, you don't exactly run both on the same team anyways. So
unless.
No, there is no unless there. Strictly because like Braviary's bad. With Togekiss, but also in general. But a lot of things I'll say people, but mostly me didn't really realize until recently when looking at usage stats. A lot of Pokemon in their like similar roles fluctuate with like the other Pokemon in those same slots. It should be obvious, but it's kind of hard to tell at times when those shifts happen in the metagame, unless you're looking at like the giant like usage stats we have in front of us for this top 128.
Yeah.
So, although fittingly, the winning team at Bohum had Togekiss beating the Braviary, so I forgot Braviary got second, but let's talk about there's a lot of teams. I was figuring out like, do we talk about top 32, top 16, like where the money is? I think in the window that I want to talk about these teams, let's just talk about like top 8 these teams. Like I was saying before the cast, like if you replayed like any tournament like number of times, like you're gonna have a different winner at least a couple times, like just because of how variable this game is. If certain people don't advance, then others have like tougher matchups. I'm hard on myself, but that's the only reason why I won a mid-season this month. I got like the perfect path to winning the event laid in front of me and didn't mess it up. But what were your guys' favorite teams looking into these top 8? We'll talk about all of them, but I want to just to decide instead of just order. Like we'll talk about what do you guys like.
I really liked the David Kutesh Trick Room team. And
cool, me too. Glad you picked it.
Jonathan Marston, he had a pretty cool team too. But the David Kutesh team was just so disgusting. Like, so filthy. They're just like, we are going to play Pokemon, and in the worst way possible. He's not saying
we're going to. He's saying I'm going to, and you're not.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, he's just gonna roll. He's just gonna roll like some very heavily weighted die, and they're probably gonna roll his way. And whenever they do, you probably have lost. Like, I really like that team. It was really, really tricky.
I wish I could like control F this team because it got like
it's
4th,
everywhere.
5th, 9th,
I think there were 5 in top 32. If I'm not mistaken.
18th, 29th, 35th. Yeah, they're there. They're all there.
Yeah.
Patrick Donegan has a version at 42nd with a Lapras over the Gyarados, which is okay. It gives it like a parish mode.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I saw a lot of people using it at Dallas too. I know Cedric Bernier used it.
Yeah, none of them got higher than top 32. I think there were 3 of them in top 32.
There were a few in cut that I think all lost.
It was still very threatening, like through Swiss. I heard a few people, like a few friends had played this team, and it just kind of wrecked their butt.
Yeah, I know I lost to it. That's what.
Yeah, I know Ben lost to it too. Lucario Jr.
Oh, yeah, his winning in. Yep.
Yeah.
There were 3 in top 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in this team, the Torkoal, Rhyperior, Togekiss, Gothitelle, Dusclops, Gyarados team. It's on David Kotesh's Hamster Mania CZ, I think is his Twitter handle.
Yeah, it is.
He posted it, so that's why people had access to it going into Dallas.
Yeah, a lot of people knew about it. But yeah, then I also liked number 6 on the list, Jonathan Marston, because he has the Hippo over T-Tar. Yeah. Which, okay, I am a Tyranitar stan and advocate, but I really like the utility that Hippowdon has because he has Yawn, he has Stockpile, and Slack Off, and he's just like, one thick bitch, and he just doesn't die, and he yawns you like a Togekiss does, but he actually lives around longer, and he has Bug Scare. Yeah. So
another freaking thing. If you had told me 3 months ago that Yawn was gonna be. Well, 3 months ago, we knew about Dynamax. So maybe like a year ago, if you told me, it's like, yo, Yawn. Big new VGC move.
I mean, Sleep is always good, but now some actually bulky Pokemon can put things to sleep now.
Well, the thing about Yawn is, like, they're really important sleep targets now.
That's true,
so,
that's true.
Specifically
the
Dynamax.
Big bad Dynamax mons.
Yeah, so, like, if you can sleep those, you're Like with Yon, best case scenario, you get like you take away one of their turns of Dynamax,
Yeah.
which like might not seem like a lot, but it's still pretty important because especially if you get your full 3 turns of Dynamax, you're probably getting more out of it than they are.
Yeah, and a lot of teams are pretty projected on who in what situations are Dynamaxing. So being able to yawn them the turn that they Dynamax just to like, guarantee that. Or even like preventative measures, so like they don't feel like they're in a comfortable position to pressure you there with the Dynamax, because no one's going to attack beyond and then Dynamax that same turn that they're going to fall asleep, because that's like, is the one turn of Dynamax really worth it? So, rip. There's an interesting team with the Lapras, Chandelure, and DD Dragapult.
Yeah.
Like, good stuffy.
Yeah, I'm also a fan
with
of
the Hippo.
Indeedee. Because, I mean, I don't know what this team looked like, but I could definitely see this being like some sort of setup, like having Swords Dance Excadrill and Dragon Dance Dragapult.
Yeah,
just because you have the Follow Me, obviously, but then Hippo, you have that defensive like damage sink almost, kind of forces people to attack it and distract from your sweepers.
I don't really get what Lapras is doing there. I don't really get Lapras without Gmax.
I honestly, I think if there's anything I didn't like, it's Lapras, but it does beat Gastrodon. It does beat Gastrodon, Dracovish, and Gyarados pretty hard, which is nice for Sand.
For that team.
Yeah. It freeze dry is nice. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure what it's doing.
Yeah, I'm real excited. Like, Lapras has gotten like modest usage. It's a pretty good Pokemon, but once we're able to legally use its Gmax, I can see the usage at least upticking for a while people are trying it, and then probably plateauing at like a comfortable space that's above where it currently is, at the very least.
Right.
So, 7th place is a team I'm very familiar with. A lot of people are. Edu. We stand Edu in the CableCast.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He's a good player. We'll mull over that team. 8th place with the disgusting Dracozolt. I don't like Dracozolt or Dracovish, but I respect the power.
Respect the fish.
Dracozolt in particular to me seems like significantly worse than Dracovish. I know its coverage is definitely better, but I guess that means it's fine as a max.
It boosts it. It's like an actual Dynamax threat, unlike Dracovish.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing. You probably are maxing Dracozolt more often.
To put into perspective, how strong Dracozolt is, believe it or not, I did play in Dallas Regionals, and the first round I played one of these things, and I had Ferrothorn on my team. I had intimidated the Dracozolt, and it still did half to my Ferrothorn with max electric.
Wait, max electric?
Yes.
So Bolt Beak does a little more than that, but that's still like...
I was still disgusted. Like, he doesn't miss. You have to worry about missing whenever you're not Dynamax, but he doesn't miss, and he, like, OHKOs anything that does not resist.
That's true.
That's kind of nice.
Alright, let's talk about these top 4 teams now. We already talked about the Torkoal Kotesh team, but Ermei Sahan, that team there. I really hate this. Well, I say hate it just because
Sludge Wave.
the Sludge Wave Jellicent team.
Wait,
it's
had
so
Sludge
funny.
Wave? What?
Yeah, it's weakness policy Togekiss. You can pop it yourself.
Ew!
So it's quad water with Togekiss, Conkeldurr, and the water types being Pelipper, Ludicolo, Gastrodon, and Jellicent.
That's definitely Surf Spam, isn't it?
Yeah, Surf Spam options. I remember fighting Justin Burns with a similar team in like a Galar Weekly or something, but it's a disgusting team.
I would panic if I played that. I would have a mental breakdown. I would not know what to do. Mm-hmm. That looks annoying as hell.
Because, like, the slot, your Jellicent is usually running, like, Giga Drain to self-proc. Right here, you just run Sludge Wave.
Yeah.
Hey, and you cover Hydreigon. No, not Hydreigon. That's not a fairy move. I don't know. Fairy types. Yeah, Whimsicott. There you go.
Whimsicott, yeah.
Thank you.
You probably...
2-hit KO.
Well, yeah, that's all you care about with the sash. Yeah. That's a good point. But the real meat and bones, what are people trying to call this? What was I remember Chuppa tweet something about Arcanine, Rotom, Ferrothorn, just classic Firewater, Grass Core. What's it's RAF? I don't know. People trying to make acronyms out of stuff.
The Far Core.
Get some help.
The ARF Core.
Oh, it was ARF. It was
RAF.
ARF.
That's funny.
It was ARF because the dog wolf.
Rafa. I could go all night.
Yeah, so both finalist teams having very standard Firewater Grass Core that we've had exist since the good old days of 2015. Or not 2015. Well, yeah, this was a thing in 2015. If people ever used Arcanine with Water type in the Ferrothorn, but I'm thinking Gen 5 is why 5 was on the mind with Ferrothorn. I was always a big fan of Arcanine before it was ever popular. Hipster cable out here. But I never anticipated its usage to, spark like this. And, it's reminiscent of, the AFK cores. I didn't like those either.
Yeah.
But this is obviously much more bulky than a core that is surrounded with Kartana as its, centerfold Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
None of these Pokemon are really doing that much damage, but it's more about, switches and pins and stuff.
Right.
The supporting cast, I imagine, on these teams is what's doing the damage. With Alex, with T-Tar, Braviary, Sylveon. I don't like Sylveon. What do you guys think about Sylveon?
It's a Pokemon.
I think it's being slept on.
Why is that?
I think...
what's it beating in this game?
What was it beating in 2015? It just clicks Hyper Voice a bunch and does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it just does good damage.
Yeah.
The throat spray. I don't think throat spray is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think throat spray is cool. Yeah. I think the old Sub-CM set is probably good too. There's always specs if you're into that.
Right, because you always, before Hidden Power got nuked, you would probably run Hidden Power, Fire, Ground for Heatran or Pharaoh anyways.
On a spec set, yeah.
Oh,
no,
right.
Mystical Fire
now it has
huge.
Mystical Fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point. But the winning team with the Togekiss we can't stop talking about, Mudsdale, Sableye, more of those prankster Pokemon. I do want to go and get into why the other prankster Pokemon are so high in usage when we look at the Dallas teams. Mm-hmm. That's more indicative of their use. But Sableye is also being slept on. I was thinking Quash was just bad and not worth the trouble because of the new speed mechanics anyways. Thunder Wave is just kind of like Quash now. But
kinda, yeah. But there's still some things that can't really take advantage of Thunder Wave.
Mm-hmm. And Quash,
you can't
actually works in Trick Room.
Yeah, with Mudsdale or Ferrothorn, if you're just looking at this guy's team,
yeah.
If you Thunder Wave something, then it's still going to outspeed Ferrothorn.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
there's no point.
Horse is real good. I don't think it's at the point where it was in 2017 as far as super high usage because we have other actual good ground types in this meta.
Mm-hmm.
Although we had Garchomp in that meta, so it might be similar. I don't know. I just want to talk about Dallas teams because I already think the Bohum teams are not irrelevant, but to the point where Dallas players were looking at those teams and we're like, okay, let's move on.
I mean, some of them just used copies. So well, exactly. I don't know if I'd say that.
It's very indicative of when was this? Second week of January meta. Yeah, so January 16th was when that was posted. So yeah. Let's get into Dallas. We were all at Dallas.
Woo!
January is also a special month for us. I don't know when I was going to talk about this, but we all had birthdays in January. Go us.
Yeah. We
Mine
powered up.
Yesterday. Everyone showered me with praise.
So none of
we
us
leveled up.
Yeah, we
Ew, I hate people. Unlike TikTok, people have level 25 in their bio when they obviously just mean they're 25 years old. That is not creative. Please stop.
All right.
Sorry, that was my rant for the day. Continue.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
We don't have the usage stats on Dallas regionals, but looking at these top 8 teams, it's funny. Only 50% of top 8 had Togekiss, but when I was manually doing it, it's like 66% of top 128. Like,
if you look at 9 through 15, literally all of them have Togekiss.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you only noticed that because in Boston City Post has them literally all like lined up.
I can distinguish Pokemon from each other if they're not in the same line, Caleb.
Oh, I can't. Awkward.
Anyway, that's 11 of 16 in the top 16. So
yeah, and
if you
just the
pull
rest
that
of
further,
top 32, it's number one without a doubt. Since we kind of started from the bottom, going up, we'll do that here again. Jake Scarecheck, Pokebays, with more of that Arcanine, Rotom Wash, Ferrothorn,
Mandibuzz.
Sylveon, Dragapult, Mandibuzz instead.
I think he said he pulled this team from someone that did well in a Galar Weekly.
Yeah, it's a Japanese team. I definitely
cool.
recognize that. I think it's like Hiroshi's like
maybe.
Twitter
I know he
user.
definitely tweeted about it.
Yeah, if you go to like Jake Scarecheck, Pokebase, Twitter, and you're curious about the team, I'm sure they thanked.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Like Mandibuzz, I think is neat. And again, Sylveon, I think is something that's underused.
Yeah, classic Fire, Water, Grass plus Fantasy Core team. Fantasy Core.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then Mandibuzz.
Where is Fairy, Steel, Dragon. Great defensive core. Good synergy. And then Mandibuzz is just there. Yeah.
She's chilling.
I don't know how Mandibuzz usage will like uptick or not. Because like the meta shifts are going to be weird when we get like more Gigantamax, shut up, forms legal. I don't know what others we're waiting for that would influence Pokemon usage, but it's just going to be meta trends that affect things. And like, I guess Mandibuzz foul play, like if Snorlax goes up, Mandibuzz might be good. I don't know.
I don't think Mandibuzz is going to be like a splashable every team kind of Pokemon, but I feel like it makes some sense here. That's like a bulky team by nature.
Yeah,
and
the similar team from Bohum had Braviary there, the second place.
Okay, team. Yeah. But yeah, like Mandibuzz seems to work well in this kind of team that plays slowly anyway. Because I'm like you're probably running something like Snarl, Knockoff, like Tailwind, Roost. I don't know his set. Those are just ideas I'm throwing out there. But this seems to be the kind of team that Mandibuzz would work on.
Right. Going up 7th place, Standard, Tyranitar, Excadrill, Scrafty, Braviary, Rotom Cut, Jellicent. Very reminiscent of like the December, like Braviary, Sands teams, but with like a Jellicent. I don't think people didn't respect Jellicent enough in like December, but it definitely deserves the usage it has now. I know, Blake, you were toying with Jellicent a bit. You like it.
I used it at Dallas. It was pretty good. I've seen it doing pretty well overall. Obviously, like it won the event.
Strength Sap, just the fact that it gets that busted ass move is so good for it.
I was using Strength Sap. I was using Min Speed with Rhyperior, and then also had Water Spout on it, and that was pretty good. I like that a lot. It gets some nice coverage, nice utility. Obviously, Trick Room is really helpful.
I think Trailer's winning team had it. I have not watched the Champion Wolf video on it.
Did he have Water Spout on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
It was Water Spout, Shadow Ball, String Sap, Trick Room.
Okay, I like that a lot. Like Giga Drain is nice for self-procking, and for like whenever you have Rhyperior, you also need something for Gastrodon, so you kind of need a Giga Drain, or like it's really helpful. But he didn't have Rhyperior, so Shadow Ball is really nice stab damage, so it's pretty good.
All right, 6th place, Justin Krubal, Arcanine, Grimmsnarl, Gastrodon, Mudsdale, Togekiss, and Duraludon.
Gastrodon seems out of place here. I don't get it.
You think? There's Mudsdale, Arcanine, like Gastrodon around.
But like, what are the good water moves right now? Like Muddy Water.
Scald.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, like that team doesn't like Dracovish. Like I guess Duraludon you throw out against a Dracovish, but like
you
still have to respect it, especially in a 600 person reaching.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying don't
545.
respect like Dracovish, but like I don't really understand why Gastrodon's a play here, especially next to Mudsdale. Like they feel like they occupy kind of similar roles.
I suppose that's a good point. Grimmsnarl definitely enjoys being with Mudsdale more than the Gastrodon, though.
Yeah, no, I think Grimmsnarl is very good.
Also good
like-
with Duraludon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like Fake Tears is just crazy.
Oh, did he have
Especially-
phasers?
I never used it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
scary.
so, Justin. Yeah.
Pretty good.
he had. Well, because you have like Togekiss, Duraludon, I guess Gastrodon too, that all benefit from Fake Tears.
Mm-hmm.
Have we noticed that places 4th through 6th are all Justins?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
That's
about to get to that. Yeah, we had Justin Burns, Justin
I love
Ramirez,
that.
Justin Kruba.
Yeah.
Hey, let's
Two
go
of
to the
them, I
Justin
think-
Ramirez's team. No, what were you saying, Jake?
Well, I was gonna say Burns and Ramirez played each other in top 8. They had a
Yeah.
Justin team kill.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
No, I think it was Justin Burns and Ramirez because we saw
That's what I-
Trailer versus
that's what I
Kruba
said.
on stream.
That's what I said.
My bad. I missed it. Jake carrying the podcast for me. Thank you. Yeah, up to Justin Ramirez with Whimsicott, Mimikyu, Conkeldurr, Rhyperior, Duraludon, and Dragapult. Just missing the Justified Arcanine. I don't know where it is.
This is cool.
You
I
got
am a
2
fan.
beat up Pokemon there. No Arcanine.
I like this team.
That's the only team archetype I can think about. Sorry, guys.
This team looks like super flexible. I think
Yeah,
that's
no,
cool.
I really enjoy that. I'm surprised Mimikyu usage isn't higher because it's a surprisingly good Dynamax Pokemon as well. Like Max Ghost
Oh yeah, I could see
is
that.
pretty good,
Mhm.
but just also the fact that Disguised, unlike
Yeah.
Substitute, still works when you're maxed.
Yeah, that is helpful. Although, I guess Excadrill is like Excadrill wasn't really cut, was it? Or like top 8?
Just on
Was it?
Deagle's
Yeah,
team,
it
yeah.
it
Or
just
there was
on,
one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was probably Sandrush, but Moltbreaker
Definitely.
goes through it. That's like one of the only things
Mm-hmm.
that does. And
Oh yeah, I guess Moldbreaker Excadrill kind of gives this team the business.
a little
but-
bit. I mean, you have
Yeah.
Conk. Yeah, you have
Donk and
Conk.
Rhyperior, you're maxing still is good.
yeah,
with,
but you ignore
Excadrill.
Solid Rock with Moldbreaker.
Never thought about that.
Wait, do you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
like you ignore Sturdy. You
I
cannot
never
play through
thought
Sturdy.
about
Oh
that.
yeah, that
because,
makes
like-
perfect sense. But like, I
Yeah.
never thought of it like that. Okay.
Rhyperior's defense stat is so high anyways that
Yeah,
All right,
it's not what I'm trying to kill Rhyperior
And-
with anyways.
and Caleb and I call ourselves Pokemon players. Jeez.
Yeah. Cool. Guess that's
Wow.
why we're not on the commentary desk. You know.
It's also
I can
why
think of
we're,
a few other
we're not in
reasons.
top cut.
Yeah. All right. Well,
No one heard
so
that sick
there's
burn. That's disappointing.
Yeah. Speaking of Burns, we got Justin Burns at 4th with Arcanine,
Oh,
Grimmsnarl.
I just gave you the perfect lead-in
Bronzong.
for that.
Yes, thank you. Bronzong, Rhyperior, Togekiss, Dragapult.
I like this too.
There's a trend I'm seeing from this top 8. Other than Pokebase and Deagle, every team had a Prankster Pokemon. You either
Really?
have Whimsicott
Oh,
or
yeah, you're right.
Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And like most of them
Wow.
had fake tiers too. Like
Yeah, I know the Justin Burns and Kruba both did. Aaron definitely did.
yeah, I don't
think
think
Bingji
Bingji
did. Because
no.
he had double stab.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he was double stab, taunt, tailwind.
And then Burley.
Andrew,
Yeah, he
I
had it.
don't. Did he?
I'm pretty sure I remember talking to Tommy.
Tailwind, Sunny Day,
he was
Moonblast.
He was both Sunny Day and Fake Tears.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because like on the off chance, you know, the rare.
Oh, you're right.
Butterfree
No, he definitely.
or
Yeah, he did that to
Duraludon lead.
Bingji game 2.
Mhm.
He definitely had fake tears. Yeah.
Oh, what a legendary game 2 that was.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So let's talk about Andy's team. The Charizard, Whimsicott, Bronzong, Rhyperior, Butterfree, Duraludon. Where's the other Butterfree? Like in this, like the nearest Butterfree in placements. It is a long way, if at all. I think 53rd
see.
might be the closest.
Yeah,
Like-
that's the first one I see.
Yeah, like carrying
I don't-
Butterfree on his back.
I don't think Butterfree's like actually that good. Like it makes sense on a
don't
team like
either.
this,
Well,
but I think
so-
people are like
yeah,
sensationalizing it.
because it works really well with the hard trick room like mode
Yeah, yeah.
on that. I know Tommy at the mid-season, the 2 weeks before this event, was running like a Butterfree Duraludon rain team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna be recording a video with Tommy and Andy about this team in the future. But I think that was what kind of naturally came from. He realized rain was bad for it. Why not try sun?
Yeah, I think so. And like, I don't know. Tommy likes bonds like Butterfree that can kind of give him control over the games too. So
yeah, didn't he go for like 7 for 7 on his
Yeah.
befuddle sleep?
yeah, I think he said he
something?
had 7 befuddle rolls and all of them got sleep.
Wow.
That's pretty ridiculous. If you guys haven't seen that top 4 set between Aaron
That
and
was
Andy,
that was so funny. It was
yes,
Bing G and Andy.
No, my bad. You're right. Benji
Yeah.
and Andy. Those befuddle rolls on the Durant. Let me
So
tell
funny.
you. So good. Yeah, let's talk about Benji's team with that damn
Yeah.
Durant,
Terrifying.
Whimsicott, Chandelure, Conkeldurr, Togekiss, Milotic.
That's so scary.
Oh my god, I had nightmares of Durant that night. Like, just the fact that, yeah, Durant beats Charizard. I mean, it also lost to a Charizard team, but like,
If you're Andrew and you're playing this team, like, you don't have Intimidate and you don't have anything faster than Durant. So like, what do you do?
like I was surprised he never attempted at like a Trick Room mode there, but
I
that
kind of was
point-
too, but then he has to worry about Conkeldurr. And like
Yeah.
Conk and Trick Room gives him the business too.
So kind
So
of
it's tough.
stuck between both his ceiling and floors there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Durant,
This team is threatening. Like Durant is super strong.
yeah,
I think Milotic
the
makes
max
sense
moves
with
are
it
way
too.
too good on it.
Yeah, definitely. I guess same deal as Drake is old. Like the hustle boost for the max moves is great.
Yeah, I was gonna make that kind of comparison between Bohum didn't. I think it had a Durant up there, but it was kind of low in the CP. I think it was 44th was where I saw the Durants there. But on the flip side, we didn't really have a Draco Zolts really too high here.
No.
But they're like similar kind of Pokemon in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But the winning team, it's not indicative in this kind of display that we're looking at. But G-Max Charizard with Whimsicott, Jellicent, Conkeldurr, Togekiss, Duraludon. I did not anticipate anyone really using G-Max Charizard, let alone it winning.
Yeah, me neither. But it makes a lot of sense. Like it doesn't have the same immediate power as just regular Dynamax Charizard. But like Wildfire is a really good move, and I think the way that they played this team and the way they built it took really good advantage of that.
For sure. Blake, you have any thoughts on this team composition?
I'm sorry?
Do you have thoughts on Aaron's winning team?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I like it. I mean, I already talked about the Jellicent, obviously.
Yeah, that's
kind of nice. It's really good with the Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr seemed to be popping off this past weekend.
We don't really have him on like Cress in the format.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
like a super bulky
Dual
psychic
Trick
to
Room,
really threaten it, which is really helpful for it. Anything that does threaten it defensively is relatively frail, other than Togekiss. For example, Whimsicott. Whimsicott's super frail. Even stuff like Chandelure, relatively frail, and it has ways to hit it back. But
I guess Hatterene's like the best one.
Yeah,
probably.
true.
But Hatterene, like that's another Pokemon we talk about. Where the hell did Hat go?
Yeah.
I never thought it was that good, but
One thing that I noticed with these teams is that like Trick Room isn't like there are Trick Room modes on these teams, but there are a lot of teams that I think just kind of get run over by like hard Trick Room. Like the best example would be like the Kutesh team, which is arguably hard Trick Room, but like even teams that are more all in on like Trick Room offense instead of like Gravity Hypnosis stuff, I feel like could be pretty strong right now just because a lot of things that like don't really have answers to like a Torkoal in Trick Room.
that's a good point. Yeah. Especially with how slow Torkoal is, like a lot of these top teams. I think on those kinds of teams, like going all in on getting your Trick Room set up, you can easily, not too easily in this format, kind of tech moves and strategies for those teams. And
It's really hard to do
there's
that
less play
against-
around.
Well, it's hard to do that against Indeedee plus Setter unless you're using Duraludon.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
like,
we're also talking about Duraludon, just usage at this tournament. Like, It's real top heavy. Like all the Duraludons did really well, and then it's like
Makes sense.
yeah, it's spread out throughout the tournament. Like the dragons, like there's obviously tons of Dragapult, but Hydreigon's there.
Yeah.
I see a Como or two, but
Ew.
dragon types are pretty good. Damn, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they're pretty good now.
Well, especially
Thankfully.
we're given from the gods above two glorious dragon types for us to use.
Yeah.
Thankfully, whenever the pseudo-legendaries are... Or not pseudo-legendaries. Like, the legendary quad or trio is not all fairy types. You generally have dragon types existing.
Right.
Thankfully. So, glad that those things are gone for now. So we can actually see these things.
I remember arguing this with you the other day in our group chat of how Tapus wouldn't be too big of an issue for our dragon types in this format, but then I realized like Duraludon has like negative special defense stat, and Dragapult isn't eliminating Coco fast enough, and Coco could Dynamax. And
Yeah, I do think that some of the dragons will have a fighting chance, but they're like the amount of dragons that have a fighting chance just plummet.
Yeah.
Like Duraludon and Dragapult are valid Pokemon. I feel like Hydreigon might as well not be in the game afterwards.
It may as well not be in the game right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, basically.
That's a good point.
But yeah, Tapus are good.
That's true. Last thing I wanted to touch upon, I didn't realize how kind of late in the cast we were going to get on some of these topics. Another, just a thing that's been big on Twitter, I've not seen anyone who has made a tier list of VGC 2020 Pokemon make a list that I agree with, because they're all heavily biased.
Okay, hold on a second.
But
I have...
Yeah, go off, Blake.
I have strong opinions about this. Why are we making tier lists right now? Are we just making them right now so we can look at it in 5 months and laugh at them? Like, I'm confused. We don't.
I do like it for that purpose. Yes.
Like, it's
That's
kinda,
how it always goes.
Like, I feel like everyone just wants to share their opinion and whatnot. But like, let's just be real. We're like scratching the surface of this meta right now. Like,
Yeah.
There's so much depth to it. I can like already see it evolving like so many times.
Do you
in the
remember
future.
2017 at this point in those teams?
I try to forget that
would
2017 was an actual competitive format, so I don't really remember what was popular at the beginning.
I do too. That's fair. But like, if we took like 2017 Dallas regional teams and compared them to like the North American Internats teams, like
Oh right, yeah, those are always going to be different for like every meta, but like the restricted formats usually change like a good bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Regarding that, I know you guys aren't like the most hip with the meta trends and playing the game. Maybe I should get, actual competitive threats on this cast, but I like you guys. You guys have...
Hey, if you
you're
want to
good with
turn this
words.
cast into a Pokemon Go PvP podcast, Jake and I got your back.
We've got the spice.
Jake and I are both gods at Pokemon
No,
Go.
I don't want to talk about Skuntank. I don't care what it's...
He knows.
You should want to talk about Skuntank. Skuntank is that individual.
Skunk up.
Skunk up.
Instead, let's talk about VGC Pokemon just real quick. Name like 3 Pokemon that are being underused right now and why. And why you think they'll
Sylveon.
be higher.
I've already said
going in.
Sylveon.
Alright,
I'm
Skuntank.
sticking with Sylveon. Stop.
shut up. Skuntank is actually in this format, believe it or not.
Yes, it is.
But, yeah.
3. Ugh.
Fine, I'll go to 2.
Can I use Trick Room as a whole? I kind of
Trick
mentioned
Room
that
as a
already.
whole, no. You can
dang.
bring up a Trick Room Pokemon. I'll start.
Okay.
One of mine was going to be Reuniclus.
Okay.
I think it's like it's the better attacker that Hatterene wanted to be. And it's like there's so many steals and stuff, like if you're a fairy type and you're not like Babiri or like a bigger offensive threat, it's kind of hard to exist. But I think Reuniclus really doubles down more into that like Indeedee Reuniclus duo.
Mm-hmm.
And is a better Dynamax Pokemon. I know Alberto got whatever
12th.
place, 12th.
Are you saying Reuniclus is a better Dynamax than Hatterene?
Until
They
we
do
get
different
the
things.
Gigantamax, yeah.
They
Oh
do
wait,
different
is
things.
Gmax not legal?
No.
No, it's not. Okay, then I agree. I was just gonna Gmax Hatterene is pretty good, but if we can't use that, then
Oh, is that the doubles
Icicle.
OU player in you talking?
Yes.
It doesn't mess with your terrains, which is like huge.
Yeah, well, I mean that and plus confusing is really good.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I do.
Oh,
Okay.
is that the fairy move on Hat? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Gmax
it's
might
fairy.
is
Okay,
fairy.
that is huge, actually.
It's a big
Yeah.
deal, yeah.
So you don't set you keep Psychic Terrain up when you use your fairy move.
Right, that's nice.
That is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'll
That's
use
that's one
Torkoal
of
for my other
yours.
Pokemon then. I
Oh,
think
Torkoal?
Torkoal's good.
Like outside of that Kotesh team, yeah, I could see it. We never really saw any like Zard Torkoal teams doing well, but I
There
think
was, like,
those
one
there might have been
in like top
one.
64.
Yeah, but that archetype as a whole is kind of splintered. If you get what I
Yeah,
mean.
no, I don't necessarily think it needs to be with Zard. I think Torkoal in its own right is good if you get it
Yeah.
in Trick Room.
I think those teams might want to look at Ninetales more for that archetype.
It's not legal, I don't think, is it?
Ninetales is in the decks.
It is.
Yeah.
No, you're
Believe
right.
it or
Yeah,
not.
sorry. Yeah.
Blake, you have any thoughts on any Pokemon that
Yes.
are low that are going to come up?
Alright, I think Milotic deserves to be used more. I've seen some cute things happening with Milotics.
Yes.
That,
Yes, I don't want to talk about that.
I don't have to divulge into them, but it has some cute tech sets.
No, the reason I don't is because I got bodied by one, but
Sure.
yeah, we're talking about the same one, I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah. Milotic, I think Sableye is pretty good. It has Fake Out, it has Taunt, it has Foul Play, it has Quash, Will-O-Wisp, all sorts of stuff. And then, some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said, Durant. I think Durant's pretty good. I know a lot of people...
Two of your
despise-
Pokemon were Pokemon that were in finals of
Hey,
either
I
of these
know.
events.
See, but the thing is, that team was like such an anomaly for this team
Yeah.
usage-wise. I think
guess,
that
yeah,
they're...
yeah.
I think... And I don't even think necessarily together, but on their own, like... Well, I think Durant is good with Milotic, but not necessarily vice versa.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I think all three of those mons are like really, really good and probably a little underexplored right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if... Well, I was talking about Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu is minor.
That was
yeah,
up there
that's
for
a
me
good
too.
one.
Yeah.
We didn't really... I don't know. When I'm thinking about making teams, I'm trying to abuse what's new and what's hot. I'm not building a team until Gmax Lapras is legal. I'll be abusing that. I won't lie. It sounds scary, so I want to try it. But I do think because of that, Lapras is one that, like, I didn't really respect it enough before I got Gmax, but I think it's like, we talked about this earlier, like, it being a water type that beats Gastrodon. That's pretty relevant. And, like, it's not a horrible, like, weakness policy Pokemon, honestly. Especially if it's setting up screens with its, Gmax move. That's pretty
Yeah, I think as soon as Gmax is legal, it's going to be really good. I don't think people are going to sleep on it at all.
Right. That's why I was like, but yeah,
Right.
That's a strong point. I think soon we'll get. People are still figuring it out with its new like moveset and toolkit. I think Goth is gonna go up pretty high in usage, like just as an overall utility mon. I know I hate it too, but it had to be said. It's
I
like
know.
trapping's pretty good,
Yeah.
and and if I could pick as my third Togekiss.
Huh?
I would. Yes.
Underused?
I think it might. I think it might go.
It's
even
just that
higher.
good. Wow.
You can't. Okay. I don't want to fight that.
If there's not a Togekiss on every single team, I cannot sleep easy.
You're throwing.
If it
Exactly.
doesn't just beat Incineroar used its stats, like no, it'll never get that high. I rescind
No.
that Togekiss. I just remembered that I'm a fan of Clefairy and Clefable, which are gonna go a bit higher than it. So I rescind Togekiss, but
Clefairy and Clefable will not beat Togekiss in usage.
No. I'm saying they're similar roles on teams that they will take away from Togekiss usage.
Oh, okay.
Just as because they're like replacing it on a team.
Yeah, it's like voting for a third-party candidate.
Whoa, a little too real for me. All right, I think we've exhausted most, if not all, like potential topics to talk about. There any players? Ooh, new segment, CableCast segment. Hot players on the prowl to look at.
Oh Lord.
Who are you guys? Whoa! I worded that way weird.
Ew.
Shoot. No. All right, edit that out, Caleb. Thanks. Will do. All right. No. We'll title this eventually, but you guys know what I mean. Like, players that are making moves out there that you think we need to be on the lookout for, doing even better things in the future.
I thought it was cool that a couple people that haven't played in a little while came back for Dallas and made a splash.
Oh, that was so nice.
Justin Ramirez and Jake Skrček both making top 8 is neat. Inter does this every year where he just like doesn't play, picks it up like 2 weeks beforehand and then top 4s. So
all right,
that
Andy
really isn't surprising anymore.
Played a ton of games. Were any of Andy's
starting
teams
when?
Good?
Starting when?
Starting like week 2 of the game coming out.
Okay, that's earlier than I would have expected.
Yeah. Were all of Andy's teams complete, like, trash? Yes. But that's why he's got Tommy. Yeah. Well, what about you, Blake? Any names that we need to be on the lookout for in our top cuts in the future?
I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I guess
you don't pay attention.
You know, I want to see Raghav popping off in all the top cuts.
We love Raghav.
Love Raghav.
I don't know. Honestly, with these new formats, anybody could be doing well. I mean,
that's true.
We see a good mix of new players and a good mix of old players. So there's really no telling what combination we're going to be getting in the future.
That's true. I think I looked at the top 128. I recognized 70 names from this.
Yeah, like that's pretty low for VGC events.
Well, it was also 128, but yeah,
I mean,
point. That's a good point. I was thinking, like, damn, I know a lot of people, but
percentage-wise, that's like what, like 60% roughly. So
yeah,
Togekiss
like that's 40% of not knowing. Oh my gosh, not knowing 40% of the top cut or like top 128. That's
a good point. That's a good point. Hopefully, they all stick around. Have a good time for all.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, I'm totally exhausted mentally and just out of topic ideas. Blake, Jake, do you have anything plug? Any shout outs before we end this returning episode for the new 2020 year of CableCast?
Stream Simmer by Haley Williams and also Soundproof.
You should follow me on Twitter, BobberVGC, and if you used to play Pokemon Go in 2016, you should DM me on Twitter so I can look through your Pokemon Go account.
Don't fall for it. No, I got asked like 3 times last weekend.
Yeah.
Like, there's some legacy Pokemon or something.
Yeah, DM me on Twitter.
Nico, I know you're out there somewhere. Stop asking little kids about their Pokemon Go.
I want every single one.
And if you don't give them to Blake, give them to me instead.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. Next time on CableCast, we won't have Pokemon Go. So...
Rude.
Players. No, well, that's just how it works out. But so enjoy it while these guys can until the next time I have them on. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone out there. Until next time, whenever I decide to record. See you then.
Bye.